Good morning. It's 7:46. A little bit late. Technical issues. They always happen when you least expect them. My LG Stylo 4 decided to lock up last night, and thanks to my wife Donna, who really is the technical expert in the family, I have to tell you, she got it working. In the same way everybody gets stuff working. There's a YouTube video for just about anything that breaks down, probably husbands that break down too, but she knows how to reset me. But anyway, we're live on the David Logan profile. We are live on the Boogie with the Bull page. Oops, gonna turn that down so we don't get feedback, because that's what happens if you're on StreamYard and you're watching yourself on StreamYard. You get some wicked bad feedback. But we're live on the Dave Logan profile, the Boogie with the Bull page, not the group. And let's see, we're live on Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and we're live on & Boogie WT Bull, the Twitter page. And if you see it floating around Twitter and you watch Boogie with the Bull, please retweet it. If not, we'll eventually get it there. I'm looking at a blue check verification, the $8 a month package, $96 a year. It will get you that verified blue check so that you're the only one with your name in it. It's like if you look at the real Donald Trump Twitter page, that's his official one, but there are probably 180 million other ones that have Donald Trump in the name, hoping that people think that it's him until they go to that page. That was allowed under Jack Dorsey and company when they ran Twitter, but under Elon Musk, once a blue check verification on a name is done, you're the only one that's going to be allowed to have your name in a Twitter username. And also bundled in, he did say that there will be some kind of in-house Twitter live streaming that will allow you to live stream directly onto Twitter. And a bunch of other things. You'll be able to write longer tweets, and the broadcasts will be able to be longer. I don't know what the length of the broadcast is right now, but the two that we have up, one is over 2 hours, and one is just over 2 hours too, I think. Actually, no, one is an hour and a half, and the other one is just over 2 hours. And just a sample. I forget what we did that day. But anyway, come on into the Boogie with the Bull live chat. Tell us what is new and exciting in your day. Take a shot of your favorite morning caffeine in your favorite morning caffeine vessel. And something I have thought about, talked to a few people, and it is possible to take the audio from a Boogie with the Bull broadcast and put it onto an internet radio station. And there are a couple of internet radio networks that we could do that. And it wouldn't be any more hassle. We just send them the audio file and they clean it up and shorten it as much as possible. And then they post it, they sell advertising, they make money. We get advertising just like we would get it if we were on YouTube. And eventually over on StreetLock, I think they're going to do the same kind of thing. We will get an update on StreetLock Live, hopefully before the end of the week. If not, I can tell you at least one thing I know that they're working on is there was a problem with StreetLock Messenger. And once they get that resolved, StreetLock Messenger will be up to having messenger groups. Because I know a lot of people who have messenger groups using Facebook Messenger are looking for other places to put them. And I'm one of them. So anyway, come on into the Boogie with the Bull live chat. And if no one does, it's going to be a short Boogie with the Bull broadcast, and we'll put something together either later, or we'll just move ahead and do it Friday morning, the Friday free-for-all, Red Friday, and a lot of other interesting stuff. My brain moves from one thing to another thing, sometimes goes back, sometimes goes forward, sometimes sits there and stews on it for a bit. Possibility that Boogie with the Bull will move back to 10 a.m., but it'll cut to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Someone that I very much want to be back on the broadcast is out of state, and so they're not Eastern time, and just have to confirm that they will be able to do it. And then once we have the Boogie with the Bull Street Lock Live channel, we will kick in the evening boogies based over there. We haven't set a time for them. It will be somewhere in the 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. block. It won't be a 4-hour broadcast, but it'll be somewhere in that time block. We just haven't figured it out yet. Everybody must be in bed. I didn't sleep well last night. My wife was up around 4 o'clock in the morning. I think when I did my usual flipping in the middle of the night, I actually think I heard Delilah or Chihuahua say, "Be careful," when I flip over. But if there's nothing new and exciting, and every once in a while that happens, there are not a lot of people to watch a broadcast and carry it through, and I don't have much to say on a broadcast, and it's a short broadcast, although this one would only be about 10 minutes. I have said ideally that Facebook analytics and all the data that they send me that tries to make me think that people watch and when they watch and when they would like to watch. The best time is Tuesday at 8 p.m., but don't know if 8 p.m. is going to be a time that can work on Tuesday and Thursday. But we'll figure it out. One other option is we could always do it as a podcast and post it Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. But we'll try to figure it out. If you've ever thought about doing a Boogie with the Bull broadcast or something similar to Boogie with the Bull, reach out and talk to me. We have the StreamYard 8-pack. It's 8 cameras, 8 destinations, and a broadcast can go up to 8 hours in length. We actually got it up to just over 5 hours, but we had a problem where we couldn't close a studio and reopen it for another broadcast. So we just had to play around with it. And when we finally got it closed and up and running, it was 5 hours, and it was just too long. Even as 2 broadcasts, it was just too long to watch. But that is where I am. We're at 8 minutes into the broadcast, and I guess we could always pull what a lot of others do, and I used to do in the beginning, is you scroll back over to Google and you look for news headlines that might be of interest, and you read some of them, like this one as soon as it opens up. Some Twitter staff were cut off after missing a Saturday deadline from Elon Musk because they didn't check emails at the weekend. To me, that whole thing is just getting a little bit out of hand. I don't think he needs to explain what he's doing with Twitter, other than just trying to let people know it's going to be free speech for all, and anybody can come on, they can talk with anybody they want, or anybody that wants to talk with them. And that's just the way it's going to be. It's sad that, as I've said, that a lot of people who are on Facebook are posting all the bad posts they see about Twitter and how they don't think it's going to work the way Elon wants to do it. And 99% of them have never used Twitter in their entire life. And I've always said, if you don't know of a social media network that other people are talking about, whether it's positive or negative, if you've never used it yourself, then all you have is what the media tells you, and it's split. There's Democrat media that thinks Twitter should go out of business only because everybody has freedom of speech now. And there are conservative patriot Republicans who say, no, it really doesn't need to go out of business and go away. You guys always had the freedom of speech that you had. You guys got away with murder over there, and the other side of the aisle did not. So now it's our turn to be treated equally the way the rules say everybody should be treated. And that's it. And if you don't agree, don't use Twitter anymore. Go someplace else. Go to StreetLock. Go to MeWe. Go to Gab. Go to iDominate. There are so many different places on the internet. Buy a domain name for $14 and get a small server for, I don't know, a couple $100 and plug it into your Wi-Fi, and boom, before you know it, you're online with your own social media network, and you can put on it what you want and not put on it what you don't want. And that's the exciting thing. A lot of people that Boogie works with and work with Boogie are all telling me they're all individually are all going to launch their own servers and try to make a go of being a baby tech social media network. And I wish them all luck, and I will do whatever they allow me to do. I'll help some networks do their own broadcasts, and maybe I'll do some Boogie broadcasts. And if it works, it works. We have always been a network of the networks that we are on. Why? Because we couldn't afford to launch our own network. But it all comes back to, if you don't like Twitter and you've never used Twitter, and that's why you don't like Twitter, then go over there and get a Twitter account and give it a shot. If you use Truth Social and you've never used Twitter, well, Truth Social is pretty much what Twitter looks like, although Twitter, there's more people doing it, over 1 billion people a day now. I don't know the count of people hitting over on Truth Social. They look the same. So if you can use one, use the other. And, I've always told you, don't make Facebook the beginning and end of your social media network. There are other social media networks out there. Give them all a try, especially if you end up in Facebook jail all the time. My least favorite post of all on Facebook is, hi, I'm going to be in Facebook jail for 99 years until I create another Facebook account, and this, that, and the other thing. Why bother? When we had admins and moderators in the 8 groups, I used to tell them, you're banned from Facebook for 90 days. Don't post on Facebook for 90 days. There's so many other places you can go to. Go over to StreetLock, StreetLock.com, StreetLock.com, and take a look around. Look at the groups. You'll find a group that is of interest to you. Maybe you won't. The Ministry of the Truth and God Bless Trump and the USA are both over there. And they're slowly growing with members. And, people will start posting over there, and I'll start posting to it as well. Boogie broadcasts get posted right now as a podcast once the Boogie with the Bull Street Lock Live channel is up and running. We're supposed to get an update the end of this week, or before the end of the week. Once it is up and running, we'll be live over there. Right now it's a podcast. And if you see today's Boogie, that's a 20-minute podcast today. It's up to you if you want to share it. If you do, please do. If you don't. And we'll just kind of take it that way. And I'll probably decide. I'll watch it later and decide whether or not it's really something that either stays up or it doesn't. Good morning, Gerard K. Michaels from the American Rebellion. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes they start, they always start right around 7 o'clock. Sometimes they go a little longer than 9 o'clock, and sometimes they end a little earlier. It all depends. Just go over there and take a look. The live chat is always very active. The link is generally in there, and Jerry will say a lot. If you want to be on the broadcast, take the link, go into the green room, and he'll bring you on. If you behave, you're there, and if you don't behave, you're gone. But it's a lot of fun. The American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook. And let's see. Let's scroll through. Let me see if there's any more news worth bringing up. Oh, well, this is kind of important. The Trump organization was back in court last week with the Justice Department. They wanted Trump to be found in contempt of court because the Trump team would not release the name of the custodian of the records while they were stored at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know if he has to release the names, but he and his team and his lawyers decided not to release the name of the person who is responsible. I believe one of his lawyers actually went on somewhere, I forget, and said that I believe she was the person, was the custodian of the records, but you can Google that or your favorite search engine that and find it if you really want to. I personally think the whole thing is just a farce in its final days, that the Democrat majority House of Representatives will no longer be able to send things to the Justice Department that are top priority because they have the Democrat majority. On January 3rd, we all know that Republican Kevin McCarthy is expected to be handed the gavel, and hopefully their trials will be going. Excuse me? Rain. I'm going to look outside the window just to see. Not going to aim the camera. I don't see it, but we do know it's coming. The skies here in Fleming Island are a beautiful gray this morning. And that's something that's going to come up. I don't know if we'll do it this week, but we will try some boogies outside on a sunny day and see how those go, rather than staying inside and doing them inside all the time. Another iPad model is heading to obsolete land. Well, I'm going to open this one up really quick because it should be the Apple Air 2. It should be the Apple Air. Oh, okay. The iPad Mini 3 is no longer being supported by iOS or iOS Mini or whatever it runs on, which means that you can't use it anymore. Well, I mean, you can use it, but you can only use it up to iOS 3 because it won't take iOS 4. Also, you can't use it any longer because it has you can't use it for mobile data because it has 3G, and Apple doesn't support 3G because nobody supports 3G. I believe the FCC reassigned its use. But I do know that iPad Air 2 is the latest full-size iPad that can no longer be used on mobile data and got 15.7. So anything that runs on 15.7, you can still use it on. I have games on it. I can use it on Truth Social. I can use it anywhere. I can use it on Facebook, use it on StreetLock. But now I think it's iPad 3 and above, and the 3 is rumored to be going into obsolescence fairly quickly because of the higher ranking iPads. Anyway, Pam Strange is watching Boogie with the Bull and is in the live chat. If you had got comments for this morning, something you want to bring up, Pam, you got a few minutes to do it. Actually, going back and looking at the Facebook analytics, it seems that the best length of time for a Boogie with the Bull broadcast is actually 25 minutes, 2.5 minutes of opening, 20 minutes of body and 2.5 minutes of closing. You're right, Delilah. You're 100% right. 25 minutes. Although a lot of times, sometimes I think there's more to say than you can say in 25 minutes. Sometimes there's live chat going and there's more to bring up in 25 minutes. But the ideal length would be 25 minutes, especially here on Facebook. And if we could master a 25-minute broadcast here on Facebook, it would be a no more than 30-minute broadcast on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and probably no more than 30 minutes on Street Lock. Although with the Street Lock Live channel, there'd be 30-minute time slots open for a lot of people doing broadcasts. And as I have said, they will not, the programs on the Street Lock Live channel will not only be conservative patriot politics. The bulk of it in the beginning might be conservative patriot politics, because I'm still working with a lot of music people I know about securing permission to live stream their concerts when they will allow me to do so. Most of these are independent musicians with their own label, and they can decide whether or not I'm allowed to do so. And some have said it is okay. So we're just trying to work out the specifics on how to do it. So as I said, if you don't have a conservative patriot broadcast, but you have a broadcast that you think people will want to see on the internet on whatever schedule you're going to do it, contact me, message me here on Messenger, and I will go through them all. And once they tell me at Street Lock they're ready to go, I will let you know. And right now we are sending it over to Street Lock on the YouTube podcast for now. Anyway, it's 22 minutes of me abusing the privilege of your time here on Boogie with the Bull. So we'll take this and we'll continue to do so for about another 5 minutes. And at, let's see, slide down here. At about 8:15, we will pull the plug on this Boogie with the Bull. If you got an idea for a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, it's the same rules. Just message me who you are, what you are, when you want to do it, how much time you think you're going to need. Today's a perfect example of we could probably do most things in about a half an hour, and try it sometime. And if you sit and try to write what you would do in a half an hour, it's a long period of time. It's much longer than you think it is. Even 3 minutes is hard. In my broadcasting classes, that's what they did. First, they taught us how to write a minute, then it was 5 minutes, then it was 10 minutes, then it was 20 minutes. Then it was a newscast, then it was whatever you could do in a half an hour. My first half an hour was an interview with Lemmy Kilminster from Motorhead. And I was told, because I was new at KFJC then, and I was doing jazz shows, that Motorhead was a British jazz group, and this was the first time that they were coming to the United States, and they had secured an interview. So they told me to dress accordingly. So I wore a Bill Blass 3-piece suit that I wore while I was driving limousines in the real world. And I remember walking in, and Lemmy looked at me and he said, "You need to relax, dude." And he put his hands up on my shoulders, and he went, and I thought he had torn the sleeves off of my suit and didn't really know what to say or what to do. Laughed about it once I came back down to earth. And over the years, I remained close with him through other friends that are musicians, and he was still telling that story many years after it happened, and I still laugh when I hear it. But anyway, 25 minutes. So I think we're just going to say the next Boogie with the Bull broadcast will be the next time you see it in your Facebook notifications and promos on your Facebook news feed. Not having one planned for later today means that most likely the Friday free-for-all, Red Friday, remember everyone deployed on Friday. If you have family in the United States military, deployed here in the United States or deployed outside of the United States, come on and say hello to them and send them a Christmas greeting if you want to. If you are deployed outside of the United States and you have internet access, feel free to come on and we'll do our best to give you the floor for a couple of minutes, and then we'll make sure it gets spread around Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and over on Streetlock and a few other places that we can put it on, because that's what we do. Sometimes doing it helps relieve the stress or pressure or whatever going on in my brain, and we try to do it with a good cup of coffee. Today, it's not a fancy brand. I think it's Walmart's Great Value brand, 100% Colombian, made from Arabica beans, which are good coffee, and just about everybody uses the Arabica bean on their Colombian coffee, and it is contaminated with a little bit of half and half, I believe, and some sugar, because that's how I drink it. I did say yesterday or recently that one of my primary care doctors said the best way to drink it is black, just the way it comes into your cup, black. Put a little bit of sugar in that if you need to, but no cream, no half and half, no coffee mate, just black with some sugar. And even with sugar, I couldn't do it. My dad, God rest his soul, who passed away on the 18th of December 3 years ago, drank it black. And every person that worked at the Boston Coffee Exchange knew that's how he drank it. So when he came walking in, they had a large black coffee, nothing in it, just black, extra black, as he used to say, waiting on the counter for him when he came in. And when he said he was moving on, they had another one sitting on the counter waiting for him. Those days were fun. It was really a whole lot of fun working with him there. And yeah, so Dad, thanks for stopping by this morning. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. And I want to throw out the same question that I normally throw out this week. What is the toughest Christmas present on your list for someone that you are having trouble finding? It could be a toy for a young relative. It could be something for an older relative. But what is the number one hardest thing that, say, you can get it at Walmart or you can get it at Target, and you're going to every Walmart, you're going to every Target you can go to, and you can't get it? What is that? What is it? And if you found it somewhere finally, even if you had to order it from Amazon or one of the other places, where did you tell me where you got it from? It's also my favorite time of year, because when we used to ask my dad what he wanted for his birthday or what he wanted for Hanukkah or Christmas or whatever, he always said world peace and the winning lottery ticket. And I hope where he is these days that he's looking down and saying to God, when they sit down and have a bagel and coffee every morning. I got some ideas that might do it, because he always did seem to have an idea that might do it. I do know that in 2016 he voted for Trump. He was an independent who usually leaned Republican, and in 2020 he wasn't here, but he was saying that he didn't think he was going to vote for Trump a second time. I don't remember the reasons, but I'll ask my mom, because my mom will probably remember. My mom was the opposite. My mom was an independent who tended to lean Democrat, although she always told me that it was the opposite, that Dad was the independent that leaned Democrat and Mom was the independent that leaned Republican. But so it was one of those two. I used to joke, excuse me, I used to joke with both of them and ask them what it was like having Alex P. Keaton for a son, both trying to figure out how they got a hardcore conservative Republican as a child, and how they, excuse me, take a swig of coffee, and how they were able to deal with it. They always were supportive of the five of us in just about anything that we wanted to do with our lives while we were living at home, and even after we were living at home. I don't remember the exact words, but Donna, if she wants to, can say them from off camera. But I remember it was something when we got married. I always say it's my mother came up to her and said, "He's yours. I've done all I can do." And I always left it at that. And I think Donna said in there somewhere was added, "No give backs." Meaning,
thank you for taking him off my hands.
Thank you for taking him off my hands. And she, and my mom, 86 years old or 85 years old, about to be 86 next year. Moms are great people. And if you don't talk to your mom, and I'm guilty of this, and I tell people every day that I'm guilty of it, so there's really no excuse for being guilty of it. But, call your mom, call your dad, call your sister, call your brother. Well, for the one sister that I just said call, that means leave a voicemail message and hope that she calls you back. For my brother, it's the same thing. Leave a voicemail message, because when he's home sleeping, his phones are off. But he will eventually call me back. It could be 2 or 3 weeks later sometimes. But keep in touch with your family, especially now as the snow has made its way to the ground. I think it was 6 inches? 5 or 6 inches in the Northeast around Connecticut where we lived, and up into Massachusetts where my mom lives. And if you're up in those areas, if you need a good local snowplow, message me and I'll get a hold of a good friend of mine and see if he's still doing it, and he'll help you out. Also, if you need transportation anywhere in a vehicle and you're in Massachusetts, or to the airport, from the airport, Amtrak train stations all over Massachusetts, down to Providence. He'll go just about anywhere, and you'll have a fun conversation with him. Setting up Billy Cassidy at Cassidy Coach, CassidyCoach.com, CassidyCoach.com. And let's see, who else in our American-owned business segment? Because our economy works when American business works, because American business is the backbone of our economy. Please don't ask me to say it again, because I'm sure I will mess it up, but I'll try. Our economy works when American business works, because American business is the backbone of our economy. Copyright the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And yes, Facebook, it is actually a copyrighted statement. And other than that, good morning to Don Marie. Don is very active on all the blogatorial posts, as I call them, that I put up, as well as the promo posts for Boogie with the Bull broadcast. She shares them. And I call them stupid posts, where someone puts up a list of everything and you have to copy it or share it and change the answers to yourself. And I did say Gerard K. Michaels was in the house. Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. I was going to say that William Rayfield and the Patriots Lab broadcast, which you see me on sometimes, is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And on Saturday, it's 12 p.m. Eastern. Hey, if you see Michael Anthony on, you see him in your news feed, go watch it. Always interesting and informative broadcasts. So you should go and watch him. And I can't think of anyone else that we didn't include. And I apologize if I didn't. Always catch the Patriot Cowboy, my partner in crime, generally on Kentucky time, around 7 a.m. Kentucky time. So you have to figure out where that is, where you are, and catch him. And Derek Arnold and Nationwide Presents. Get into that group. It's a room in one of the groups that Derek has. Nationwide Presents always has interesting broadcasts to see. Right now, Mike Gill and the State of New Hampshire, the State of Corruption, New Hampshire broadcasts, I think, are getting in there. The State of Corruption broadcasts are getting in there. I think there's another one, Wall of Corruption, is getting in there. And Mike was on yesterday, so what Mike is talking about. Anyway, 37 minutes into this broadcast, and I'm just going to say, Double B's for Victory. We're going to come to an end. We'll come up here, and Double B's for Victory. That we did come to an end. Thank you for the privilege of abusing your time, and look for us on the next Boogie with the Bull broadcast. I know Derek Anthony and I are working on one that will hopefully get out this week. And, of course, the Patriot Cowboy, Randy Griesenbeck, and I are working on one that will get out this week. And if you want to work on one that might get out this week, you know what to do.